Dallas Cowboys Game Night is presented by AT&T, official sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys.
In a back-and-forth affair from AT&T Stadium, it was never easy, but it was victorious for the Dallas Cowboys. 41-35, our final score, as Dallas takes down Seattle and improves to 9-3 on the 2023 season. What a game this was from the beginning, as Dallas and Seattle jarred for position as the game went along, and we welcome you in to Cowboys Game Night here from AT&T Stadium. I'm soon to be joined by Isaiah Stanback, and there's plenty to talk about with this one. We'll also have post-game reaction from the locker room here in Arlington, because Dallas took care of business, their first win this season over a team with a 500 record or better, and of course it was a sold-out crowd at AT&T Stadium as well. Early on, Seattle did their thing offensively. Geno Smith found all of his weapons, including DK Metcalf, this one from 73 yards out, and he takes it all the way to the house. The longest play from scrimmage this season for the Seattle Seahawks. However, Dallas would answer quickly. Down by 4, Lamb with the touchdown, as that was a that was a pass interference, rather, that set up this pass in the back of the end zone to CeeDee Lamb. 15 yards for the touchdown, and Dallas takes a 10-7 advantage. Cooks would also have a touchdown later in the half, 17-7 the score, and on 3rd and down and 15 later in the game, defensive pass interference called on Stephon Gilmore. That would put the ball at the 1-yard line for Dallas. Zach Charbonnet and company would then punch it in to make it a 3-point game. Later in the quarter, Jackson Smith and Jigba, a touchdown from Geno Smith, or at least it looked like a touchdown. This one lofted up in the end zone. It was a rough first half for Deron Bland and company, but Njigba makes the play, but he doesn't at the same time. It hits the ground. He used the ground to create the grab, but since it was pass interference on Deron Bland, then it sets up Seattle again at the 1-yard line. Pitch and catch, left side, and that one's to DK Metcalf. That makes it 21-20, Seattle going into the halftime break. After that, Geno Smith with the touchdown run as he takes off up the middle. Seattle strikes first in the third quarter, going up by 8, 28-20 was the score at that point in time, but Dallas would answer in a big way. Tony Pollard, physical in his running, especially in the third quarter, as he bullies his way inside. He crosses the goal line, and Dallas is back down by 1. 28-27 was the score. Dallas needed a big play from the defense. They got one from Deron Bland, his 8th pick of the year. Unfortunately, this one doesn't go back for 6, but it is another interception for Deron. He gets underneath Tyler Lockett, makes the grab. Dallas, though, would not score on that because CeeDee Lamb had a drop on 4th down and 1. Later in the quarter, though, DK Metcalf had another touchdown grab, putting Seattle up 35-21, and then Jake Ferguson, following a Brandon Aubrey field goal, would have a touchdown as well. But then the defense stepped up in a big way here, slowing down on a 4th down and inches. DeMarcus Lawrence gets on the inside, forces a stop, and then Dallas works down the field. There's the Jake Ferguson touchdown we talked about, 36-35. That made the score, and then Dallas went for 2 to try and go up by a field goal. They did just that. It was Dak Prescott to Brandon Cooks for the extra 2 points there, 38-35 the score. And then Micah Parsons on the final play of the game, pressuring Geno Smith and forcing the incompletion. Dallas with their first win over a team with a 500 or better record. They improved to 9-3, and they have 14 straight home wins. As we take a look at our final stats, Miller Lite brought to you, or bringing you these final stats along the way. 411 total yards, both teams over 400 yards, both teams over 127 in penalty yardage as well. It was very much so an offensive outing between these two sides, but Dallas comes out on top 41-35. When we come back, we're going to hear from head coach Mike McCarthy as he hits the podium and talks about the big win for the Cowboys, and it's setting up a big matchup next week here in Arlington against the Philadelphia Eagles. It's just a gift. Yeah, right. Can you guys hear Jordan? So we don't hear. How about now?
Hello, hello.
Got him now? Sweet. There we go.
How's the body feeling?
I'm good. No problem. Appreciate it.
That's good.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, you're feeling good, and you get a long week. It feels pretty good.
Yeah, man, with a dub.
Cowboys game night back here from inside AT&T Stadium. The Cowboys get the win 41-35 over the Seattle Seahawks alongside Isaiah Stanback. I'm Kyle Yeomans. We're now joined by Jordan Lewis. Had a couple massive pass breakups down the stretch. I mean, big win for you guys to get it taken care of, get in the rearview mirror, and now, of course, turn the attention to Philly. But before that happens, what was the key to coming out on top tonight?
Just stand on top of all that power, that firepower that they had on offense. Standing on DK Metcalf, he had a good game. You know, and Jigba and Tyler Lockett. So I mean, Gino was slinging around, but we got some stops when we needed them. So.
Yeah, you guys did a heck of a job, man. Pretty much keeping Jackson Smith and Jigba and Tyler Lockett under lock. Now, DK did his thing for a minute, but it's hard to stop two all-pro receivers at the same time. What was your approach to facing both of those guys, Lockett and Jackson Smith and Jigba in the slot?
Just knew that I had to fight. You know, we talked about fighting all day. I mean, all week, and just competing with those guys. We knew that we had a long week. You know, a preparation for those guys, and I knew that Gino wanted to get the ball to him. So we just had to go out there and fight. You know, every single down, because we knew it was going to be one-on-ones and time for us to step up when we needed to. So.
And you definitely did step up on multiple occasions down the stretch. And whenever you're going up against a team like that that's going to have their yardage, that are going to have the big plays, what is the message on the sideline from Al Harris and some of the other coaches on that defensive side to say, hey, keep your feet about you and continue to look forward?
It's just keep fighting, honestly. Yeah. He knows who we are. He knows how talented this group is, and going out there and competing every day. I mean, every down with some of the best of them. So we go out there and take pride in playing man-to-man, and we go out there and fight every single possession.
Now, you know, a lot of times, man, you know, what people are saying on the outside is kind of like water. Eventually, a little bit of it gets in, right? You hear it, right? You can ignore most of it. The streets is talking, saying that pretty much, there hasn't been any competition lately. You haven't beat any teams over 500. All of a sudden, you guys come in here to take care of business against a Seattle team that is pretty doggone tough and well-respected. What does a win today against a team of that caliber compare to the teams that you guys have been facing lately? What's the differential there, and how do you guys walk away from today?
I think they're going to find something else to talk about. You know, they're going to find something to pick at it. And, you know, we can't, like you said, we can't really let that, you know, affect the way we play. And we just got to play to our standard, you know, no matter who's on the schedule, no matter who we play on Thursday or Sunday. So we just got to go out there and take care of business like we did tonight.
Sweet. With that being said, what do you expect out of next week against Philadelphia?
It's going to be a hard-fought game. I mean, we got to keep the penalty to a minimum. We definitely had some today, so we just got to go out there and play disciplined ball and go out there and execute. Now, I mean, they got to come here and see us now. So, like you said, the crowd's been electric, and, you know, hopefully we'll get another electric crowd for that game.
We were talking about it even prior to having the interview live. I mean, this crowd has been phenomenal all year long. Where does it rank compared to some of the other years that you've been here?
I mean, it's been loud. It's been loud. It's been loud all season, and I mean, we appreciate them for that last drive. I mean, we can barely hear when the Seahawks saw the field. So I mean, it was amazing. I mean, it was definitely encouraging to see that the crowd was in it and they believed that we can get a stop in, and that energy just, you know, propelled us to that victory.
All right, I've got one more for you. If you had one word to describe your coworker, teammate, whatever you want to call him, DaRon Bland, and his 8th interception, what would that one word be?
Go. Period. I mean, this is one of the best defensive, seasons that we've ever seen. I mean, 5 pick sixes, 8 picks. Should have been 9 tonight, but
he almost
got another one.
But I mean, we haven't seen it since Trey, honestly. So
yeah.
I mean, him and Trey. So.
The fact that they're both on the same team and they've got a Jordan Lewis here too, that's like a cheat code all the way through. Jordan, thanks so much for taking some time. Congratulations on the win. We'll be back with more Cowboys Game Night right after this. It's starting to become like clockwork for the Dallas Cowboys, whether it's on the watch or maybe it's the snotty nose. CeeDee Lamb continues to have double-digit catches and over 100 yards receiving. He did it again tonight against the Seattle Seahawks in a 41-35 win. Let's hear from CeeDee after the victory.
CeeDee, obviously you're the top receiving target, but for Jake Ferguson, a tight end, quarterback's best friend, all that stuff, just what's it been like to see him continue to progress the way that he has?
He's a warrior, man. He's taken a lot of shots, obviously this game included. He's done a lot of dirty work as far as blocking the end, blocking backers, and then going out running routes. So tip my hat off to him, man. They do a lot of dirty work for us and continuing to help each other.
CeeDee, how would you describe the steps you've been on as an individual? I'm not saying unstoppable, but you've been having some good games.
Man, I wouldn't be where I am without this team, quite honestly. O-line, doing what they do up front, protecting Dak. Dak doing what he's doing, playing the best of his ability. And obviously, my receiver room, man, we all doing what we got to do to get open. I get the matchup that I want. Obviously, I got to run my route and handle my responsibility. But other than that, man, we just trying to put these pieces together.
So as you said, Mike compared you to Mike in terms of opening the door for other guys. Do you feel that?
Yeah, I do. Obviously, when the coverage is shipped towards me, I understand that. And I tell my guys, I have two, so you guys got to win. And I have full faith, full trust in those guys that they're going to do so.
You mentioned that he's been playing usually the best of the game. He's entered into the game. He's according to a lot of people. A game like this against a playoff team, what kind of statement do you think this is for you? Eight you guys on a game late, touchdown drive, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks.
It's just a great game. And I don't think it really sends a message to anybody. Obviously, we just, we're trying to prove it to ourselves first. It's not so much of telling everybody or proving it to anybody. We got to prove it to ourselves first. Continue to battle, continue to grow, and then, we'll watch it unfold later. Most definitely. It's a game that we needed, and, we're looking forward to the next one.
CeeDee, that pass in the end zone that you weren't able to come down with, Dak, for him to put it in that spot the way that he did, I mean, how impressive was that?
Great ball. Obviously, that was me lacking concentration, but I was the only one that touched the ball, you know, so I definitely got to come up with it. Great ball by Dak. Appreciate him trusting in me. I'll be better next time.
CD, what do you got?
There's CeeDee Lamb following the 41-35 win for the Cowboys over the Seahawks. This offense continued to roll in the right direction, and it continues a trend that we've seen over the last month.
Yeah, these guys they're learning how to win ball games, right? It doesn't matter what your competition is. I feel like every game they're facing a different challenge and they're having to overcome those things. And when you are continuing to add that to your armor, it's going to pay off dividends when you start facing the tougher opponents. Obviously, we know that this was the beginning of the tough stretch for the Dallas Cowboys, and they needed that. They needed to go down to the wire against a team that was of this caliber. They needed to have to overcome the penalties. They needed to overcome the turnovers on fourth downs. All those things were necessary so that when it presents itself again later on, they can go back on their memory and say, you know what, we've already been here, we've done that.
You always talk about overcoming adversity,
Yep.
and this was a team that overcame adversity today to get this win because it was never easy. Seattle's a really good team on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage, and you could see that all the way through. Both teams had their fair share of penalties. That adversity grew for both teams, but it was Dallas that was the one that finished out on top. And with that being said, when we come back, we've got our players of the game. Both Isaiah and I will have a player of the game. We'll tell you who it is next. I got to get a victory selfie with you.
Victory selfie.
It's a Nate tradition, but
I like it. I like it a lot. Who you going with? Play of the game.
That's a hard one. Who do you think?
I'm gonna go after you.
Dang it. I was gonna say Dak.
All right, you go, Dak.
Yeah.
I'll play off it.
Okay. Dude, there were some balls that he threw that should have been caught.
Threw some dimes.
Dude, the one to CD, I called it whenever.
Dallas Cowboys Game Night was presented by AT&T, official sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys.
AT&T Stadium was rocking tonight as the Cowboys send Cowboys Nation home happy with a 41-35 win over the Seahawks, improving to 9-3 and setting up a monumental NFC East showdown in Week 14 right back here in Arlington as we wrap things up here on Cowboys Game Night. He's Isaiah Stanback. I'm Kyle Yeomans. Isaiah, I want you to give me your player of the game. Who is it from the big win tonight?
Well, I'm going to have to go with the quarterback of our media team, and that's KY right here. Mr. Kyle Yeomans stepped in the game.
I thought you were
right
going to take my player of the game.
I'm not taking your player of the game. I'm going with my QB because this dude was on the sideline as we're getting ready for the pregame show, and he found out that Brad Sham unfortunately had something that he had to deal with. He stepped in right off the bench, cold, ready to rock. He cut our show off early, went upstairs, took care of business, and now he's back here rocking it again. So this is my MVP right there.
Appreciate you, man.
Yes,
I really do. And well wishes to Brad Sham. Hopefully he's in the booth again for that Philadelphia game next week. I was going to say my player of the game was Dak Prescott. So whenever you said my quarterback, I was like, what are you talking about? We just went through this prior to the break, and it didn't work out. Thank you. I appreciate it. But, hey, on a real note, mine's Dak Prescott.
Okay.
Who's yours? Other than me.
Other than you, I'm going to go with Micah Parsons.
Micah Parsons.
He showed up when they needed him.
Didn't have a sack, but the pressures ramped up whenever they needed it most in that fourth quarter. They're going to need some pressure like that going into that Week 14 matchup against the Philadelphia Eagles. For Isaiah Stanback and our entire Dallas Cowboys crew, I'm Kyle Yeomans saying so long from AT&T Stadium. The Cowboys win it 41-35 over Seattle.